Hello everybody and welcome back to Factorio. Today we pick up where we left off, right? So last time we worked on steel smelting. We were able to get 2 lines out of it, though to be honest, I'm still pretty sure that we could only get 1 line out of this, and the reason why 2 lines are happening is because everything is backed up. But I'm not going to fix it, it should be okay. So we'll just leave it like that. So next up what we want to do is we want to start updating our mall, right? We've been researching all sorts of stuff. We're still researching stuff. So let's go ahead and update our mall with all the new stuff, right? So let me go ahead one by one and just kind of explain things as we update our mall. There's a lot to go over because we've been researching all sorts of stuff. So this is going to take some time, and that's okay. It might even take multiple videos. And again, that's totally fine. But you can see there's all sorts of new stuff for us to automate, take a look at. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. We're going to start stepping into more complex territory. One of the first areas where players, even myself included at first, initially drop off is when you have to do oil. So we'll be getting into that, probably not this video, but soon. Because we need oil in order to do chemical science, I believe. Blue science. Yep, that requires oil. So yeah, we're going to need oil. But before we get there, let's go ahead and just take some time, expand our mall to bring in the additional stuff that we've researched that will be helpful, right? So now we've unlocked red belts, red underground belts, and red splitters, right? So they're much faster, much faster. They're twice as fast as the yellow belt. So if you need to increase throughput, you want to use red belts. So that's the idea. So we do want to get those automated, right? So if we take a look at the recipes, red belts need iron gears and transport belts. So we can just straight up put it right here. And then we can put a blue inserter here, put that there, bring the gears up for the ride. Set this to red belt, put inserter here as well. Stick that in a box. Let's go ahead and limit that to 1,000. And once we get this powered on, we should be in good shape. So let's get that powered on. And there we go. Now we're getting red belts. We can even throw on a second inserter there just to speed that up. We're probably going to need more gears because as I'm looking at the recipes here, there's going to be a lot of gears, right? This needs 5. Underground belts need 40. That's nuts. That's a lot of gears. Holy cow. So yeah, I'm going to need to expand that because we just aren't going to have enough gears for that. So I think what I'll want to do actually... How do we want to do this? How do I want to do this? Because what I want to do is I want to go ahead and put a assembler here and do that, right? And limit that to like 4. Something like that. And then I need gears running up along here. You can already see this is just eating all the gears anyway. So we need so many gears. Let's see, I might even need to add more gears here. So let's do like, I think we can even do 2 more gears here. Let's try to just squeeze some more in there. So we'll go here, here, out, out, copy, paste. And let's power everything on. There we go. Again, power poles are a little sloppy, but it'll get the job done. So now we have a lot more gears coming onto the belt, which is great. And now what I want to do is probably create another just belt by itself of gears to bring up for the ride. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just, again, just doing this just right off the top of my head, right? But I'm going to do like a belt of gears here. So let's see. I'm going to do something like that, perhaps, in order to snake some in there. And then we'll have inserters insert like that. Let's go ahead and power stuff on. And while it only has the undergrounds for now, let's go ahead and get a whole bunch of gears set up, right? We're going to need like 1 billion gears. We're going to need like 1 billion gears. So we're going to add a splitter here. Maybe add a splitter here. Yeah, let's add a splitter here. I'm going to run horizontal like that. And I'm going to throw like something like this. Maybe have a belt go out this way. And I can do something like this. That's a lot of gears, but who knows? Maybe that's just what we need. I don't even know. And then we're going to end up balancing it. So something like... There we go, something like that perhaps. And then we're going to go ahead and say you do gears. Again, sloppy, but if it works, it works. And I'm okay with that. And then we're going to go ahead and input. And we're going to go ahead and output this way, I think. That should work. And just making this up as I go. And let's get this stuff powered on. So yeah. Perfect. Now we have lots of gears. Is it going to be enough gears? I don't know. But we have lots of gears. We can maybe even put some assemblers on this side too. And kind of do the same thing. But now that's eating so much iron. Which is a-okay. So we might even need to pull in an additional line of iron rather than use a splitter. And that might be worth it. But no, it looks like it's keeping up okay. At least as far as how fast these inserters can grab them. So it should be okay. Yeah, I think we're going to want to pull some additional iron up there because you see these three aren't working. So let's pull an additional line of iron here. Let's remove this splitter. And then we want more iron coming out that way. Copy, paste. And then let's just bring that iron right on over. There we go. See what I mean? We're going to use so much iron. That's okay. Sorry, I made you lose that. Alright, so now we've automated our underground belts. Lovely. We've automated our red belts. Also lovely. So now we want to automate our red splitters. So let's take a look at red splitters. So red splitters need iron gears, electronic circuits, and regular splitters. So we've got what we need, but we're probably going to, again, we're going to just eat through all the gears, right? How many gears does it need? It needs, oh no, it doesn't need, oh wait, yes it does. It needs 10 gears. So yeah, it's just going to keep eating gears. But maybe I'll draw from here, because that doesn't seem to be eating as many gears. So we're going to go ahead and pull from there. We're going to pull from there. We're going to pull from, well, either way, it's going to pull from the same line. I'm going to pull from, I guess we'll pull from there. It's fine. Okay, and then red splitters. And then we're going to output here, throw in a box, limit it to like 4. What have we limited this one to? Yeah, 4. Okay, that's fine. And then we're going to go do that and that. And again, it might take a little while, right? You can even throw another long-handed inserter on there to grab gears even faster. Wow. This is actually keeping up remarkably well. We're waiting on gears here too, right? Yeah, it's not grabbing them fast enough. We can even throw a third inserter on there. There we go. So many gears. It's so hungry. And then here, is that grabbing gears fast enough? I think it is now. Yeah, it is. Okay, sweet. So now we just need to make sure we're crafting enough gears. So let's see, how do we want to, do we want to increase the amount of gears we're crafting? Or are we doing okay? I think we might need to increase the amount of gears we're crafting because this isn't getting fast enough anymore. See, fun problems to solve trying to figure this out. Fun problems to solve. So here, we're putting gears here because that needed its own set of gears. Maybe we can throw some additional gears on like this. I mean, sure, why not? Long-handed out, that's fine. Copy, paste. Throw some electricity on that. And now we've got more gears. At least going to feed this. This is going to get starved out still. Wow, we need so many gears. So many gears. So now what I want to do is I want to throw some more gears up here. So how do I want to do that? I can split some gears off of here using a filter, but I don't know if that's going to bottleneck these guys or not. But maybe for now that's my best option. So let's try that. So we're going to do a filter on gears on the right side. Go ahead and take the iron plate there away. And we're just going to side load it onto there, I think. Like that. And that'll help. That way these gear assemblers can also help out here. And I think that'll work. At least for the time being. Let's keep researching stuff. Just keep our research queue going. Alright, sweet. So now we've got our level 2 stuff all automated, which is fantastic. Fantastic. So now we want to go ahead and automate additional inserters, right? So now we need stack inserters. But in order to do that, we need to automate advanced circuits. So we can't add that to the mall yet because we don't have advanced circuits yet. And just as a heads up, in order to make advanced circuits, you need plastic. And in order to make plastic, you need oil. So it's going to be a little while before we can automate our stack inserters. But once we do, that's going to be awesome. It's going to help a ton with trains, for example. So, and then stack filter inserters are stack inserters, but with extra circuits. So we can't automate those either yet. Medium electric poles, that'll be really nice. So that needs copper, steel, and iron sticks. So we've got copper right here. We're not pulling in the steel yet at all. So maybe what I'll do is I'll just split this copper off and merge it with the steel. Or maybe I can draw in a second line. Maybe I'll draw in a second line and merge that together. So let's see here. So we're going to need iron sticks. Needs 4 iron sticks, 8 iron sticks. So we're going to need like 2 assemblers of iron sticks-ish. Just kind of making this up as I go. So we're going to want iron sticks, which means we're going to be pulling off of the iron some more. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull that off. Copy, paste. Now we've got sticks, which is awesome. And then we're going to take that and we're going to make medium electric poles. And we're going to also make, let's see, we'll input from there, we'll input from there, we'll output this way, just to kind of go along with what we're doing in general. Set that to something like 4. And we're going to do the same thing here, but with the big electric poles, where we need the same ingredients, just a bit more of them. So we'll do something like that. And we're going to do something like that. Input, input, output into a box. Set that to something like 4. Power everything on. Lovely. So now we just need the copper and steel. Okay. So copper. Again, we're going to copy paste that. I'm going to do that. Now it goes to the copper. And now for the steel. So for steel, we're going to want to do something like that. And then just merge that on there. So let's see. That's the one line. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Copy, paste. I'm just going to pull up a half line for that. How did I do this? So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's properly there. And then this is line 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I only have 2 spaces here because of all this. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. So I'm going to do something like this. Like that. Okay. There we go. Now we've got our steel. So once the steel makes its way up there, we should be in good shape. And that research finished fast. Holy cow. So let's keep just chugging along. Again, as we assemble and automate these, I'll explain what they are. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep just chugging along with the research. It looks like we're almost done with everything that we can research as far as red and green science go. But all good. Again, the great thing about Factorio is you can take your time. Take your time. So let's just make sure that this is working. It should be, but you know, we'll just be on the safe side and make sure. There we go. We have medium power poles. And now we have big power poles. Awesome. We could even throw a second inserter on there and a second inserter on there. Just to make sure everything is running nice and smooth. And even that's still behind a little bit. And throw a second inserter on there too. Even throw a third inserter on there. Like that. There we go. Now we're not assembling these fast enough, so let's go ahead and put some more down. One more down. Just want to make sure everything gets what it needs. Maybe even a fourth one. Alright, that should do it. That should do it. And even if it's not absolutely perfect, should be enough to at least keep things moving at a reasonable pace. So now we've automated our big power poles and our medium power poles, which are awesome. I love these things. So let's go ahead and grab as much of these as we can right now. We'll come back to them all later and grab them later too, because we're going to use these a lot. We're going to start phasing out small electric poles. We don't really need them anymore now that we have medium and big poles. So I'm basically going to use all of the small poles I have left, and then just not even going to worry about it anymore. Now they just can't pull them in fast enough. Okay. Well, that problem we can also solve. There, see? Solve that problem. And here that's not pulling it in fast enough either, so there we go. Solve that problem. And there we go. Things are running pretty smooth now. Life is good. Life is good. Go ahead and grab some more of those. Grab some more of those. We are looking awesome. Now, as far as all this extra steel goes, how do I want to deal with that? I guess what I can do is I can throw it on here, kind of like what I'm doing with the stone, right? I can just throw it on here. So I can say, hey, you. Take any extra steel that I have, thank you. Let's power it on. We're going to use the big poles now in order to just bring the power right on over. See, a lot more distance can be covered that way, which is nice. Very convenient. And then there we go. And then again, we'll do a input priority on the right, so that way it prioritizes this chest first. And that's where we can drop off all of our extra resources. All right, what's next that we can automate? So up next are pumps, which require engines. So we can do that. Look at all this stuff we can do. This is awesome. All right, and then engines require steel gears and pipes. So let's see. Steel, gears, and then pipes. Steel gears and pipes, steel gears and pipes. How do I want to do this? I can bring this gear line up or bring it over. Let's see. Is anything else going to need gears on that line? That's going to need gears. Steel, gears, and pipe. Maybe it'd be better to bring the steel over this way. Maybe. Gotta think about this. This is tricky. Tricky. Because it's already kind of a mess. And I don't really want to make it too much more of a mess. But, I mean, regardless, it's going to be a mess until eventually we get bots and we end up doing a logistics-based mall, which will be really nice. But I'm not going to worry too much about that right now. Let's see. Maybe what I do, actually, is I take a splitter here and I filter out the steel so that way I don't have any of the iron, or the copper, sorry. Go ahead and just grab that. I can bring the steel, and then I can grab a splitter. So I can go ahead and split like here. Grab a splitter of this and bring that over. And there we go. So engines need steel, iron, gears, and pipes. So now we're going to need a pipe maker. And engines take a while to build, so we're just going to need one pipe maker. And maybe a couple of engine makers? Or do we just want one engine maker direct feeding into the pumps? Maybe we'll do it that way. So we'll do a pipe maker. Right. I should have actually moved this out a little bit more, I think. Again, just wanting to use the space. So I'll have a pipe maker here, and that will output onto a belt, which is cool. And then from there we'll go. So that means I want the resources going around like that. That means I want this to actually output priority filter on the left. So again, just going to take that off and then bring that up like that. Input there. You do pipes. You're going to output on there. And then you're going to do engines. Where you're going to take the pipes, and you're going to take the steel, and you're going to take the gears, and you're going to output engines. And then here, you're going to make pumps, where you're going to take the engine, steel, and pipe. I'll just drag all that up. So, pipe, steel, and then you're going to output engines. Or not engines, pumps. And we're not going to need that many pumps. Probably just 2 stacks. And that should be fine. Alright, all that research is done. Let's check to see if there's any more we can do. Looks like not for the time being. So we're done with research for the time being. All good. There we go. Pipes take a little bit longer to craft than I thought, but as it gets going, it'll be fine. It's all going to stack up. So again, we only need 1 pipe maker. And then there's the engines, which take forever to craft, but all good. It's going to get the job done eventually. And then there are the pumps. And again, the mall doesn't have to get it all done immediately. It can take its time, and that's okay. It'll stack up over time. Okay, what's next? Rails. Ooh, rails. I like rails. So that's going to need iron sticks, steel, and iron plate, and stone. So what if we, let's see, let's look at the rest of the train stuff. Iron sticks. So just 2 of these things need iron sticks, and only 1 of these needs stone. That also needs steel. So we can merge these iron sticks onto the steel, since we're only using half the belt there. So we can do that. And then we can just route stone straight up. So here we're going to do the rails. Like here. Rails. So you're going to go ahead and input there, output there, into a box. We're going to limit that to like 1,000. We're going to need a lot of rails. And then I think I might just route the stone just straight into it like this. Like just straight up. Because not a lot of things are going to use the stone. We could also automate terraforming if we're not landfill if we're not already. We can do that. I can also just throw it right here. So that's fine. We're just going to run that stone just right up. So we're going to do that. And then we're going to want the splitter here. So basically we're going to want there and there. Then we're going to go ahead and split that off. Again, prioritize. So copy, paste. And then there's our stone. Let's get everything powered on. All awesome like. And then once the stone arrives, we're going to have rails. And then while I'm at it, I'm just going to go ahead and throw a assembler here of landfill. And that just uses all the stone it can possibly, all the stone it can possibly get. And we're just going to let that ride. So yeah, that's going to eat tons and tons and tons of stone. We're finally starting to use it. I know it's been backed up for ages. We're finally starting to use it. Okay, what's next? So train stops are next. So train stops, where do our gears go? Why don't we have gears coming out this way? Oh, we filtered them. We filtered them, so now no more gears are coming this way. I see. I see, I see, I see. Okay. Hmm. So we want that, but we don't want those plates appearing here. So then what we'll do is at this point we can go ahead and filter the gears. Gears on the left is fine. Like that. And then that way we let everything through like that. Okay. That'll work, I think. So far so good. Lovely. Now we have gears coming again. Okay. Train stops need iron plates, steel plates, sticks, and electronic circuits. So we've got everything we need here, right? We've got the iron, steel, sticks, iron, steel, sticks. We're missing green circuits. So then what I'm thinking is maybe I just bring up another half belt of circuits and then I can combine them with something else later if need be. And I can just bring them right up here like this. So you'll take the circuits, you'll take the iron plate, or sorry, you'll take the steel and sticks, and then you'll take the iron plate, and then you'll output into a chest. And here we're just going to need like 2 stacks. Stops, we're going to be eventually creating a good amount of stops, but we don't need them all super fast. Okay. And then what I can do is I can just, there we go. Go right past the landfill. All right. Let's go ahead and split output priority, but only half. And there we go. And then that'll get us our stops, which is excellent. Now up next we have our signals. So these are really straightforward recipes. We already have what we need here. So rail signals, we'll take our green circuits and our iron plates and then output into a box of, again, like maybe 2 stacks at a time. And then same deal here. Oh, oops. Oh, it doesn't quite reach. Sad. Fine, we'll just go around. It's fine. It's fine. We'll just go around. And then you're going to do chain signals, which again is just iron plates and circuits. So really straightforward recipe there. And there we go. And then you're going to output there, again, maybe about 2 stacks. Okay. Now we need locomotives. Locomotives need lots of steel, electronic circuits, and engines. So again, we need to build engines. And I think I'm just going to, again, direct feed it. So you're going to do engines. Engines, again, need steel, iron gears, and pipes. So we don't really have the pipes here. And the locomotives, they need the electronic circuits. I kind of want to do 2 engines feeding into one like that, but then I'm not going to be able to output upwards. So maybe I won't. Maybe I'll just do that. It'll be kind of slow moving, but we'll get it done eventually, that kind of thing. Also, we're just going to need 2 stacks of that. Okay, so for engines, we need steel, gears, and pipes. So steel, gears, and pipes. So maybe what I do now is I take these pipes and I merge them with these green circuits. Something like that. perhaps. Something like that. Again, just kind of making this up as I go. Okay. And then we've got the rest of that here. Okay, so for the engines, there's the steel, there's the gears, and then there's the pipes. And then for the locomotive, there's the circuits, and there's the steel. And then we'll eventually get 20 engines. This is going to take a very long time, but it'll get there eventually. And eventually is all we need when it comes to building trains. Because again, it takes a long time to build train stations anyway. Train stops, train networks, all that fun stuff. So because of how long that's going to take, I think this is okay. If we do need to speed up production, we can speed it up in a couple of different ways, like putting like 4 engines all in a line, then outputting engines, and then having like one of these pick all of them up. But I think we'll be okay. We'll eventually get them. Okay, cargo wagons. Cargo wagons are iron plate, steel plate, and gears. So we've got the iron plate, steel plate, and gears. So really straightforward. So cargo wagons, you have in, and then out, and then again like 2 stacks of those. Let's get this powered on. I'm gonna need another one of those. There we go. Cause yeah, again a little slow moving, but it'll be all right. It'll get the job done. And then fluid wagons require storage tanks. Storage tanks require iron plate and steel plate. Okay. I think we're going to do another direct feed. So storage tank into fluid wagon. And then we're going to also have to bring this up because we need the pipes. Okay, so iron plate, steel plate. Iron plate, steel plate. There we go. And then this needs steel, gears, and like 2 stacks of that. And there we go, fluid wagons. How are we doing on the locomotive? We got 7 engines out of 20 so far. We've already got all the signals we need for a little while, which is great. Got all the stops we need, which is great. We're doing tons of rails. Doing tons of landfill, which is great. I'm actually thinking of doing 2 lines of that. That's fine, because we're going to need a lot of rails eventually. Okay, what's next? Cars. I'm not going to automate cars. I might just take engines and put them in a box, so that way I can just have engines. Maybe we should do that. Let's see. Where else are we doing engines? Because I know we have 2 direct feeding engines. We got 1 engine here. We've got another engine here. So maybe I just do engines here and stick those engines in a box. So that way I've got them when I want to make cars. So engines are... Oh, they need the pipe. Uh-oh. Well, I can just take the pipe from there. That's fine. I love making this up as I go. I love making this up as I go. This is great. I gotta admit, in the past, I've stolen most of my malls. I very rarely build them myself. So this is always a fun thing to do, is just kind of figure it out, build it yourself, because it's great. And then let's just do like a stack. We're not going to want a lot of them. And then how are we doing on radar coverage? Is there anything that we've built that needs coverage? Nope, we're doing okay there. Cool. All right, what else? Lamps. All right. Circuits. So let's go ahead and automate that. So we've got copper coming here. We've also got, you know what? We've got what we need right here. So let's just keep dragging this along. And we will do... I'm gonna do a little bit of belting on this too, I think. Let's do something like that. Because I think all of these things require copper cables, right? Yeah, they all do. Okay. So lots of copper cables. Okay. So that means copper cables and electronic circuits. So there's your electronic circuits, there's your copper cables. And then you're going to go ahead and output a box. I'm not going to use a lot of circuits because, again, admittedly, I'm not very good at them yet. I'm going to be learning them pretty soon because me and a buddy of mine, we're going to be playing space exploration. So that's going to be really fun trying to figure that out. But yeah. So there's red circuit cables, green circuit cables are next, which is literally the exact same thing. Copy, paste. Okay, and then power. And then after that, it's literally the same thing all the way down the line, except for eventually it's going to want iron plates and iron sticks. Okay. So now we want combinators. We're running out of boxes. So let's come down here to another part of our mall. We also need to start throwing down lights. So let's throw down light. Wow, I did not leave any room for lights there. There we go. Throw down light there and there. And then I've got boxes here. So let's grab a stack of those. Lovely. Well, lots of belts. Hooray! We're doing so good. We're doing so good. I'm excited. We're doing so good. And then next we have decider combinators. Copy, paste. Bring those along for the ride. And then next we have constant combinators, which is the exact same thing. Copy, paste. Power. And then we have power switches, which are going to want iron plates, and eventually we're going to want to get iron plates and iron sticks together. So, iron plates and iron sticks together. How do we want to do that? Do something like this. Filter the iron plates and have them go this way. And then we can filter out the sticks and have them go that way. And merge those together. There we go. So now power switches. And then that also needs copper cables, right? Yep, okay. So we want to keep bringing the copper cables along for the ride. There we go. All right, so power switches. You now have your plate and your copper cables. Eventually, they'll come down the line once everything backs up. I don't mind waiting for things to back up. That's fine by me. And then we want your green circuits. There we go. And then up next, we want your programmable speakers, which requires copper cable, like that. Perfect. Now again, eventually this will all back up, and eventually this will all get built. Again, I'm not in a huge rush. Now I'm going to show you guys something cool. Let me go ahead and grab some of this red wire. So there's some good basic uses for circuitry, right, that we can do, and it does not have to be complicated. There's some really good primers on circuitry, especially by Dosh Doshington makes some really good primers on circuitry. He's really good at them. But let me just give you a quick rundown of at least what you can do with just cables, right? There's all sorts of cool things you can do. You can literally build a computer in Factorio. It's pretty freaking sweet, right? You can build a whole computer in Factorio with circuitry. Circuitry is extremely powerful. But the main case that I want to use this for is literally just putting a condition on like an inserter and saying I only want to activate the inserter on a certain condition. So let me show you what I mean, right? So we have all of these yellow belts stuff that we're making, right? And we're taking those yellow belts into the red belt stuff. But we might always want some yellow belts, right? And right now everything's backed up, so we're okay. But let's say down the line we're taking resources all the time. Eventually our factory is going to grow and we're going to be constantly requesting resources. So we always want a minimum number of belts, right? So something we can do is we can take the cable. Let me go and just throw the cable here. We can take the cable and I can say cable onto box, right? And I can say this cable, now we get circuit connections. We want to enable the cable, we want to enable the inserter if there are greater than, oh sorry, if there are, hold on. Yeah, we only want to enable the inserter if we have, what are we actually looking at here? This is belts. Okay, so this is belts. So we want to enable the inserter if we have belts greater than, how many belts do we want a minimum of? Do we want the whole 1,000 minimum? Nah. But we want at least, let's say 400. Right? So now what'll happen is, let me go ahead and pull all of these, right? Just to test it out. So you see here, it's disabled. It's disabled by control behavior. It's not going to enable. Let's go ahead and take all of these out too. It's not going to enable until there's at least 400 in here. So let me go ahead and put them all back, right? And now it's enabled, and now we're creating more red belts. Let's go and put all the red belts back too. There we go. So that's the idea there. So we can do that all across the board here, right? So we can also put a circuit here. We can put a circuit here as well. And we can say, hey you, we only want you to be enabled if yellow splitters is greater than, like, we want at least 50, right? Something like that. And then you, we only want you to enable if underground belts, oh, I think I forgot to switch the sign here. Yeah, greater than 50. We only want you to enable if underground belts are greater than, let's say, 100. Maybe we want at least 100 of these. Maybe we also want 100 of these. There we go. We can also do the same thing with our inserter stack here, right, where they draw on top of each other. So we can do the same thing here too. So we can go cable, cable. We can say we only want you to pull from here if inserters, we want at least, let's say we want at least 100 inserters at all times. And then we can do the same thing here. Oh, and again, I think I forgot to switch the symbol. Don't forget to switch the symbol. Very important. We want at least 100 blue inserters. That kind of thing, right? We can also do the same thing here, too, with this guy. There we go. We want at least 100 yellow inserters. Lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Anything else that we might want to do that on right now? I don't think so. But, you know, that's the kind of thing that's really useful for. Is when you have things pulling from each other. So we can also do the same thing here, actually, right? Because there was that time earlier where we just weren't getting any pipe because we were making a ton of underground. So we can do the same thing here, where only pull from the pipes if there's at least... So again, at least, let's say 200. We want 200 pipes at all times. So yeah, cool stuff you can do with circuits. And that's just like the very basic thing. Like I said, circuits can get incredibly complex. You can do all sorts of cool stuff with them. All right, so we've been going for almost an hour, and there's still so much more we can automate, right? We've researched so much stuff, but we've automated so much stuff. See, do I want to do this first before I call it a video? Maybe. Nah, I'll save that till next time. That's fine. I'll save that for next time. But yeah, this video was pretty cool, right? We were able to go through, expand our mall out, so now we have access to all sorts of new things, right? Like now we have all sorts of medium power poles now. Hooray! We have all sorts of big power poles now too. Hooray! We have all sorts of awesome, awesome, awesome stuff. I love it. This is fantastic. We're well on our way to getting all the stuff we need in order to expand our factory. Hey look, we got our first 2 locomotives. This is amazing. See, we eventually get trains. It doesn't matter that the engines take forever and a decade to craft, but you know, we'll get them eventually. But yeah, we've got all sorts of great stuff. This is fan-freaking-tastic. I love it. So anyway, I'll go ahead and call this for the video for the time being. Thank you as always for watching, everybody. I really appreciate it. Let me know if you have any questions or concerns in the comments below. I'm always happy to answer. And I hope you all have a wonderful day.